everybody, and also good morning to those of you in Central and Pacific time zones. I can talk, I promise. Welcome back to the Coffee Stream and Coffee Stream number 254. It is Friday, and that means it's guest day. Lindsay should be along soon. I have sent her the link. So the link has been sent, Lindsay. So let's just jump over here to make sure. Let's jump over here to see she isn't backstage or anything. Nope, she is not backstage yet. So what we're gonna do is I found something really funny that we're gonna start the stream off with. So let's go over here. And we're going to look at this incredibly amusing news story that we talked about on Minions last night. But I figured, why the hell not talk about it too? Because it's funny. Skeptalk actually described the video to me. So it's, I can't wait to put this on for you guys. So I figured we'd start the stream off with this funny little article. Where is the video? Come on, Safari. Behave. Oh, did I get put at the bottom? Shit. I think I got put at the bottom here. Let's make sure I didn't get put at the bottom of the page. All right. That's frustrating. Because I really want you guys to see this. You guys might have already seen this on Twitter, but well, hello there to you, Wikipedia. Hi, RVA. Hello, Moonshock. Hello, Dr. No. It was quite the catastrophe, yeah. Oh, Lindsay's coming. She didn't get the notification until just now. That sucks. Lindsay, it's all good. Don't worry. I'm attempting to find something. I'm attempting to find the Go away. Why do I have this weather thing here? Where's this close button? Where is the cancel? Go away. Close. Go away. I am trying to show my chat something funny. Piss off. All right. I want this video to work, but McLean's, I think this is a McLean's website. It's being a dickhole. It truly is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. Then I'm going to do this. Okay, so don't worry, Lindsay. I am checking, making sure that you're not going to sit backstage. Okay, so let's try this link instead of the McLean's link because McLean's was being a douchebag. Come on, Safari. All right. Okay, this is much better. Okay. Oh, look an ad, of course. So this is climate activists. Now, where's... Oh, unmute.
0028 slash
How do I
01
unmute this
slash volume
shit?
0%. Unmute vertical slider increment. In vertical slider. Volumes.
Oh, well, you guys can see what's going on, I think. So these intrepid people are attempting to spray they're trying to spray the Treasury building with fake blood for some reason. Because, you know, spraying the Treasury building with fake blood is totally a thing that will... It's okay, it's only been 5 minutes. It's only been 5 minutes, Irate. So, that's that ad. Or that's that video. We're going to close that off. So that's that video. I couldn't get the sound to work, but I thought it would be funny to start the stream off with something. Oh, look, I'm going to drop my phone on my desk. Spray the Treasury with blood to save the environment because potato. Yes, exactly, Skep. Exactly. So I hope everyone's having a good day, having a good Friday. And we have with us a Cynical Lindsay. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I had to reschedule my doctor's appointment, unfortunately, because my ride spaced on picking me up. So I had to call the doctor and say, sorry. Can we reschedule, please? So, but yeah. And I just showed, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, but the Extinction Rebellion dumbasses that sprayed the London Treasury building with fake blood.
Yeah. I saw that video and I about died.
Well, Skeptalk on Minions last night, he very kindly gave me a blow-by-blow of what happened. So that was awesome.
It's funny because I was on Monkey's chat yesterday for his Monkey in the Morning.
Yeah.
And Prospero brought it up. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that video of like, how freaking dumb are you?
I'm surprised that they're lucky that the nozzle of that hose didn't like kill anybody. Just, oh man. So how have you been?
I've been good. Yeah. I've got my my cup of Joe. I'm ready to go. My IKEA coffee. I don't know if you've ever had coffee from IKEA.
I have not.
It's actually so good. It's probably my favorite.
I didn't actually realize that they had a brand of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I take it they do have IKEA in Ontario.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how there's 2 floors to IKEA. They have like their showroom floor on the second floor with the restaurant. Well, on the first floor, like right by the registers, there's a marketplace in the back, and that's where they carry their coffee. And you could also get their coffee for like $1 up at the in the restaurant too.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to if we ever end up in IKEA at some point, I'll have to try get some of their coffee to try.
Yeah, it's it has to be my favorite. I've tried so many different coffees, and it's, to me, it's like the perfect blend. It's not too strong, it's not too acidic.
IKEA coffee is the only coffee you have to grow, roast, and brew yourself. Well, we just got bunk beds for the kids from IKEA.
Oh,
yeah, we got them some nice, just your plain wood, like pine bunk beds, and of course, poor Pincalo, because we have a IKEA warehouse in our city, but you can't actually buy from there. It's just like a distribution center. It's kind of annoying. So Pincalo had to order them, drive to like the other side of Toronto, pick them up, drive back, build them.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know that they sold bunk beds at IKEA.
Yep, they sell, you can get pretty expensive with them, but we just went with the bottom, the lowest, like, because I find that their mid-grade furniture is pretty sturdy. You don't want to cheap out too bad with IKEA, but you also don't need to be stupid expensive either.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we've bought several shelves. It's like, to me, their shelves they're great quality. And I think the one that we got back here is I think it cost us about $20.
Yeah. Yeah, we did in high school, in our the kids in high school here have to take what's called career studies. I don't know if they have to take it anymore, but we did when I was in high school. And it's a half credit where you learn about how to write a resume and a cover letter and all that stuff. And we did a project where you had to partner up with somebody and pretend that you were getting your first like apartment for college or something, and you two were roommates, and you each got, I think it was $2,000 a piece to furnish your area of the apartment. And the guy that I got partnered with, his family was from the very affluent part of my town, very used to, his dad works for Toyota, so they take advantage of the employee pricing every couple of years when they're tired of their van, and replace the van they're tired of because they can. It's very, very well off. So he blew through his $2,000 and only got half of his stuff that he would have needed. I went to IKEA. I went to the IKEA catalog and I had like $500 left over. And he's like asking the teacher, are you allowed to ask your pretend roommate for money? And he's like, no. It's your fault. Learn how to plan better.
Well, that's seems like an interesting class. We used to have, when I was in high school, we had I was really lucky. The public school that I went to, they taught us basic life skills, which I don't think they even do anymore in school. Which
I don't think so either. I asked my sister, who's she's choosing to do a 5th year of high school. Because up here, they got rid of grade 13, and they allow you, if you want, to do 2 years of grade 12. You don't have to, but a lot of kids end up doing that extra year of high school before going to university. And she's like, yeah, the family studies classes and, the cooking classes and the sewing classes, they're not really there anymore. I'm like, why?
That stuff is needed. Maybe not so much sewing, but cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking is an absolute necessity.
Now they just like the only kids that get the cooking are the kids they're put in what's called a fast forward life skills program, which is basically these kids have such severe learning disabilities that they cannot follow a curriculum. So they're given life skills instead. So it's like, but the other kids who actually do academic courses don't get those life skills, and it's like, but what? Everybody needs them. Why are you just giving the life skills to the people who can't read a book properly? I don't understand that. Like, I understand that they need them because it will be harder for them to get a higher paying job because of their academic, issues. But don't you think that everyone should be learning how to cook and how to, balance the budget a little bit of your house and just basic, as Moonshock said, home economics?
Yeah. I took home ec when I was in 8th grade, and it was one of my favorite classes. Just getting to learn to cook and getting to learn to sew. And it was just really cool. Like the classroom setup is like they had the classroom on one side. It was like the classroom took up like two regular sized classrooms.
Yeah, ours did too.
Yeah, they had one side for like they had the desks and stuff, and then on the other side is where they had all the like the rows of ovens and stoves and. Okay. Love you. All right, love you too.
I used to get so mad at my teachers because they wouldn't let me do like any of the actual stuff for when it came to cooking. Like if we were broken up into groups, all the sighted people in my group were delegated the actual like handling of knives and stuff for cutting food. I'm like, okay, I'm blind. I'm not a sociopath. I'm not going to stab everybody. Like, the fact that you're not letting me do anything is making me stabby, but, like, I promise to only use the knife on the vegetables. I really do. Like, that was super frustrating.
Yeah, because it's like, believe it or not, blind people are not completely incapable of doing things. Surprise, not really to anyone.
Yeah, there's, I'm part of a few blind mom groups, and every day, there's at least one of us bragging about the really nice dinner that we've cooked from scratch. Like, we can't see, but doesn't mean we can't do, basic stuff. Like, and that's why you learn independent living skills as a blind person. It's very important. Like, and even as an adult, there are things that blind people can always go back and either relearn or learn new stuff. Like, you're never not going to be learning how to do new things that can help you adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good coffee. I love my coffee.
Nothing like a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And especially since it's getting to that time where it's going to start getting cold out, it's like a good cup of coffee is an absolute necessity.
Yeah. Oh, screw you, Pincalo. He goes, how can you say you're not a sociopath with a straight face? Oh, God.
Oh, husbands. Can't live with them, can't live without them.
Yep. It was so strange last weekend when he was with Alex at Beaver Camp. Because even, like, because of his job, we're able to speak quite often during the day because he's a courier, right? So he's in his car. So we're, even if we're not together at home, we're able to speak a lot. And he just replaced his phone, so it's not a problem anymore. But last weekend, he still had his old phone with the fucked up screen. So like we couldn't even text or anything back and forth. So it was like only at night when he went, when he called to, tell me how Alex had done during the day. It was like, this is so weird. I'm not talking to him. But then, there are days where I'm sure both of us, the other one calls and we're like, why are you fucking calling me again? It's husbands and wives. We have it's such a weird relationship.
Indeed. Yeah. It's so funny because I'll be at work and my husband will text me something like the most absurd thing. I'm like, okay. And why?
Mm. If you promise to only stab the vegetables, you can define Pincalo as a vegetable. Because he's almost as smart as one, says Costin. Well done, Costin. Well done.
Golf clap. Moonshaka man, fucking misogynist.
Oh man. So what have you been doing with your channel lately? I've seen you've been streaming a bit more.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just trying to come up with different ideas for the channel. I try to keep it mainly to entertainment related stuff because I don't know, it's just news and current events as interesting as it is. It's just, it gets a little depressing after a while, just kind of reading that stuff. Exactly. So I thought I would do something kind of similar to what the Fandom Menace community is doing. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Fandom Menace on YouTube, but
no, I don't actually. I've never heard of that.
Okay. So they originally started off as just critics of the current direction of Star Wars.
Gotcha.
And it's since morphed from there because you have all of these political agendas with that, identity politics, social justice and stuff infecting entertainment.
Yep.
And it hasn't just infected Star Wars, it's also infected Star Trek.
Yep.
And Doctor Who. So it just basically expanded from there to basically talk about, in a sense, to fight back against these political agendas that people are trying to push. And then anyone who criticizes like the Disney Star Wars or Star Trek Discovery or anything like that, if you're caught criticizing it, well, then the media will be all over you, calling you a racist, sexist, homophobe, all those ridiculous pejoratives that are absolutely untrue.
Yeah.
So I thought I would kind of try to include my 2 cents in. Like there was a recent bombshell that was dropped about Bob Iger, who currently runs Disney, and he mentioned in his autobiography that George Lucas was not happy with The Force Awakens.
I would hope that he wasn't happy with
Yeah. And so I thought I would give my 2 cents on the matter. I feel so bad for, I guess I can consider myself a fan of Star Wars, the original trilogy, at least.
Yes.
And, I'm not as well versed of a Trekkie as say you or Skepbar, but I've been watching some of the earlier, at least the original series, and trying to binge TNG.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for these people, for this fandom, because now you've got Star Trek Discovery, which completely contradicts Gene Roddenberry's vision.
Well, it does. And there's no reason to throw all sorts of social justice crap in there, because when you look at the original series of Star Trek, they touched on a lot of social issues already.
Absolutely.
And there was no need to force an agenda at all. Because in the frickin' 90s, TNG was talking about LGBT stuff.
Yep.
Like, and they were doing it without being in your face about it.
Yep.
And then you've got, Discovery and The Force Awakens, where Rey can do every goddamn thing ever. Like,
God forbid we have a female character with flaws. And
I know, right?
And I've been hearing the same thing about this Michael Burnham character in Star Trek Discovery, that she's very similar to Rey in that she can do no wrong and nobody questions her. And
yeah, she committed treason in the first episode and she somehow managed to get herself back into Starfleet. Like, what the fuck? Like, how does that work?
It's just ridiculous. Like, you have her and then you compare her to other female characters from Star Trek, like Uhura from the original series, or Beverly Crusher, or Deanna Troi. And those characters actually had flaws. They were interesting.
Yeah. Ensign Rose, another good one. And you've got great examples of flawed yet very strong female characters.
Yeah.
But no, now you've got to have a female character that can do every goddamn thing under the sun. What's this? A 30-year-old ship that's been laying here for 30 years that I've never flown before? I got this.
No, and it's ridiculous because they're pushing all these political agendas, and then on top of that, they're trying to destroy canon.
Yep.
And Doomcock did a video talking about the importance of canon, and if anybody hasn't seen it, they need to go see it, because he really breaks down why canon is important to the art of storytelling and why it's important to established franchises.
That's why I like the Dragon Riders of Pern series so much, because Anne McCaffrey did such a good job of building her world through these books, that every time, like whenever you read a book about Pern, you learn something new about the social or political or historical something of that series, and it's all canonically connected, and it is so important for shows like Star Wars, especially when the fans also provide canon, right? And Disney has basically said fuck the fans.
Yep.
Because not only is the George Lucas canon not accepted anymore, but your canon that you've provided is also not accepted. But here, look at these really awesome movies we made for you. Like,
oh yeah, look, flashy. Look at these starships. Oh yeah, and it just reminds me of the Rise of Skywalker trailer that I just saw. Oh yeah, there's these copy pasted Star Destroyers. Like, really? Oh, I get. So you're trying to tell me that that visuals are what's important, never mind storytelling, and it's a disaster.
Well, the movie-going audience are just, sheep. Lindsay. Don't you understand? They don't care about a good story. As long as it's all flashy and everyone will be happy.
And I did a video, this was about a few months ago, talking about pop cultural gatekeeping and why it's important. And I mentioned about how I broke it down into two different groups. You have the nerds or the geeks, and then you have the normies. And I mentioned in there how both of them digest their entertainment media differently. And I explained why it's important, why certain IPs should be preserved. Like in the case of Star Trek is a very niche, it's a very niche IP.
Yeah.
Or with a very niche audience. So to try to expand it, like what they're trying to do with Discovery and trying to make it more appealing to just the normal viewer, is just, it completely contradicts everything that Gene Roddenberry had set up, with going back to the original series.
Yeah, it absolutely does. This goes back to my thing about nobody has any original ideas anymore.
Nope.
They'd rather take a thing that's already been built and in their, misguided attempt to make it better has destroyed it.
Yeah.
It's like, a freshly vetted team of engineers has gone, oh, look at the Eiffel Tower. I bet you I could fix that. And everyone else is going, what? No, stop. What are you doing? Stop it.
It turned out like that Jesus painting. Somebody tried to, I can't remember what it was, if they tried to recreate a certain Jesus painting or it got screwed up, and the person that did it just botched it so horribly.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people in the chat will know the image that I'm talking about, but no, and it's just ridiculous because, yeah, as you said with Star Trek, right? That Star Trek has always been progressive, dating back to the original series, with, they had, like, you look at the cast, it's a very diverse cast of people, and they touched upon political ideas. Like, to me, the original or Star Trek in general, they were living proof that you can do political subjects without being divisive about it.
Yeah. Like that whole the whole episode with the black and white people. That was a complete talk about racism.
Yeah.
In the midst of the civil rights era. And it was completely not preachy. It was very well done, and it made a very definitive statement.
Yeah, and there was also that one episode, I can't remember what it was called, where they brought the Romulan on board. And people suspected, oh, well, Spock looks like this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to be bad.
Yeah.
And it was just a great way to tackle bigotry back in that day, and it was done.
Well, and there's even an officer who has issues with the Romulans because of a battle or something, where his family gets killed, and he starts shitting on Spock.
Yep. And
there's a scene where he almost dies, and Spock saves his life, and he's like, "Holy crap! I've been shitting on you for this whole time, and you still saved me." Like, and that's a great way of approaching that.
Yep. Well, and Roddenberry also did a great job with tackling like that whole never judge a book by its cover. There's always two sides to every story. Thinking about that episode, The Arena, with Kirk fighting the Gorn, and you think that the Gorn is that they're the bad guys, that they're the villains, and it turns out, oh no, I think, what was it, their base has been destroyed or something, and they were seeking retribution for.
Yeah, they were, and they thought that it was, the Gorn was assured that it was Kirk, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And all Kirk was like, I just have to survive.
Yeah.
Don't die.
We get that wonderful fight sequence between Kirk and the Gorn, and and it's crazy because I remember thinking back in the day, like, oh, Star Trek looks cheesy and stuff like that. But then watching it at my age now, I'm like, oh, now I understand why it has such a devoted following. Because believe it or not, it has some very thought-provoking stories.
It does, yeah.
You know, I always tell my husband, like, one of my favorite episodes of the original series is Taste for Armageddon, because of how they approached war, you know, with these machines that are kind of doing like a war games type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had some very interesting concepts. Like the Doomsday Machine, or Nomad.
Oh, Nomad, yeah.
I am Nomad.
I'm you are error.
You or what is it? You're the way that they say it functions irrationally. Is this one of your units, creator? It functions irrationally.
Oh God, that's like one of my favorite Kirk moments ever.
It serves me adequately.
Yeah. Yeah, Skep must sterilize.
Yep. Sterilize.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I remember seeing some articles, these people trying to defend Star Trek Discovery, and they're always bringing up something like TNG, like, oh, the first season of TNG wasn't really all that good. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't as good as the other seasons, but
Right.
It wasn't terrible.
You know, because I was asking my husband, because I've heard about that, like, oh, I've heard like the first couple seasons aren't that good. And he's like, that's bullshit. So
yeah,
he made a list for me of like the episodes that are must watches of each season. And in the first season, one of Data Lore was
I love that episode.
Was a great episode.
I love that episode.
Yeah.
I love all of the lore episodes because Brent Spiner he gets to show off his chops.
Yeah.
Especially the one where you get Data, Lore, and Sung in the same room, because Data plays Sung Spiner plays Sung as well. So you've got the old man, then you've got evil Lore, and innocent Data, right? And Brent Spiner says that he actually has a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun when he got to do Data and Lore. I am not less perfect than Lore.
Oh, but it's like, yeah, I really liked that episode, and I was just thinking, like, this is really not bad episodes in the first season. And another one I really enjoyed was, I can't remember, you'll probably know what the name of it is, but the one that kind of harkened back to the original series where
The Naked Now.
Yeah. And I will admit, I was kind of confused by that episode because I thought, like, in the original series, it was a virus. But then in TNG, it's like they mentioned that it acted like as if you were intoxicated, like you were drunk.
Yeah. It was something, I think they said, I think they did say that in the original series. I think they even mention it when they're looking up the records on the Enterprise in TNG, that it was a virus in the original series, but this time it was something like, I think it was like something in the water or something like that. It was a weird compound that was causing. Yeah, there was some great episodes. And then in season 2, you get to like have Picard establish Data and his rights in Starfleet. Like, that's a heavy episode for the second season. A Measure of a Man.
Yeah, I still need to watch that episode.
That's a great episode.
Yeah, I have so much to catch up on with TNG, and I still have yet to start DS9 too.
Oh, DS9 was I had a hard at first. I was like, oh, fucking space opera, blah, blah, blah. But I got into it and it's great because it's the only series that's serial instead of like it's story instead of episodic.
Yeah.
There's so many episodes that link back to back to back. Like that's why when we did the two-parters part of the Star Trek stream, we basically took the last half of the season of season 7 and did 2 streams on it because it was one story. You couldn't just pick the actual two-parters out because if you did that, you'd be like, what happened? We are missing something. So, I mean, it was brilliantly done, I think.
Yeah. One of these days I will binge more Star Trek, but as of lately, my husband and I, we've been watching a series on Amazon Prime called The Expanse, which is another
I've heard of that
show. It's really, really good. Like the first half, it's a little slow.
Okay.
But to be fair, they're trying to establish the characters and set up what's to come. But in the second half of the first season, it really takes off. Irate highly recommended that series to me, and I've heard a lot of people in the Phantom Menace talking about The Expanse. I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and binge this.
So, what do you like to do in October to get ready for Halloween? Do you do like horror movie watching a lot, or are you not like that? Are you not into that type of thing?
Oh no, I love horror movies.
I know you're into horror, but I like. Do you specifically in October? Do you do the I got to get the horror movie thing on? It's Halloween.
Not really. Sometimes I'll do a horror movie binge, but as of lately, I just get on YouTube, and sometimes I'll go on and I'll check out people's videos of like what their lists of like top horror movies and stuff. But I've never really done that. Or well, I mean, I have done that before, but not really, not a whole lot past couple of years. I know that from like 2014 to 2017, I've been to Walker Stalker Con. That's kind of been my thing around Halloween because it's with me being a fan of The Walking Dead. That's their big convention.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of The Walking Dead. I'm probably gonna end up watching all the Evil Deads and stuff this month.
Oh, I still need to finish Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched it. Because I like it because when I'm on Netflix, our TV, we have a Samsung TV and it came with like a screen reader. So whenever that's turned on, Netflix provides the described video if it's available. And Ash vs. Evil Dead was done in described video, so it's really awesome because Sam Raimi, he's not too visual of a director, but he does have some gags that are visual, and it's great to have them described.
Yeah.
So you can fully, some of the Three Stooges stuff that happens, you can fully appreciate it. I'd love to have the original movies in described video. That would be cool.
Yeah, I've been an Evil Dead fan since I was a little kid. And funny enough, I've seen the first movie was the last movie that I've seen. Like I've seen Evil Dead 2 first, and then Army of Darkness, and then Evil Dead.
Same. That's how my dad introduced them to me. I think I was like 9 when I saw Evil Dead 2. Or no, it was Army of Darkness, then Evil Dead 2. Or no, it was the other way around because Dad was like, you can't watch Army of Darkness without watching Evil Dead 2. So I watched Evil Dead 2 when I think I was 8 or 9, and then I watched Army of Darkness, and my dad was like, you're not quite old enough for the Evil Dead yet. So I waited, I think I was 10 or 11 when I saw the Evil Dead, the original one. That was definitely the original Evil Dead is definitely the actually scarier of the three. Like Evil Dead 2 has some jump scares, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot like it's supposed to be less scary.
Mm-hmm.
But Evil Dead was just
right? It was so crazy. I'll never forget the first time I saw the first Evil Dead because I was thinking, okay, it's going to be like 2 and 3. It's going to have it's going to be comical. Oh no, it was not. It was very little comedy in it. It was a straight up scary horror movie.
And you know what's even worse is my fucking bedroom at my dad's house was in the basement.
Oh god! Oh, there's no chainsaw down there, was there?
No, there was not. I wish there had been because I would have felt safer. No. So I went to bed that night, and I actually ended up going upstairs and raiding my dad's linen closet for the thickest comforter I could find, specifically to wrap around my legs in case Cheryl came and stabbed me in the ankle with a pencil.
Oh, dear God, I'll never forget that scene. I was like, what the fuck was that? I mean, yeah, there was blood and gore in the second movie and stuff, but it was comical.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh no, you have a demonite stabbing poor Linda in the ankle with a pencil. I was like, oh god damn, no.
Or the mind fucks in the first movie are just where the first time you discover that demons know how to pretend to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Cheryl just reached up and grabs him. I'm all right now. It's your sister, Cheryl. It's like, Jesus, fuck. Because if you were a sibling and you got possessed, that's probably what you'd say.
Or you have Linda sitting there possessed, like, we're gonna get you.
My best friend, because she's got this tiny little voice, she can do that voice perfectly. And she can do the giggle, the Linda giggle from the first Evil Dead. And it's fucking eerie. It's just terrifying.
Well, and then another crazy thing about the first movie is you're so used to Ash being this badass in the second and third movie.
Yeah. You're like, Ash, do something.
And you're just like watching this and Ash is just like terrified at like everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. And you can see if you were to sit down and do like a marathon and watch the Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and then Ash versus Evil Dead, you can see the progression of and if this is something that actually happened to you in real life, the way Ash kind of deals with it is honestly the only way I can think of. If you had seen what he saw as a 20-year-old and had to kill your sister and your best friend and your girlfriend, right. Would you not fuck and smoke and drink your way across Michigan? Because I would.
No shit, right?
I would be like, how drunk and high can I get so I don't have to remember this? Yeah.
Well, and it's like you didn't just have him killing his girlfriend, his sister, and his best friend, but it's like they tried to kill him.
Yeah, they did. They really, really tried. And Like, and before his best friend got possessed and tried to kill him, he got all turned into an asshole. It was like, well, fuck you and your girlfriend. I'm out of here. You just, I'm just gonna leave. And oh.
Irate said, "Elephant in the room, Evil Dead 2, the flying eyeball scene, LMAO. I spewed.
Oh my
the theater.
God, that was amazing.
Oh no, oh geez, the part where his hand becomes possessed and he starts hitting himself with the plate.
Back my hand.
Oh my God, I was dying from laughter. It's amazing to believe that Bruce managed to do that with his hand, where he like managed to move it it's like his hand, like he was really good at making it seem like his hand really was possessed.
Bruce is a fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
He really knows how to turn, like when he's having those moments alone in the cabin where he's just losing it.
Mm-hmm.
He does such a good job. Because even though it's a comical movie, and like even though Evil Dead 2 is a comical movie, there are still moments when you're like a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know somewhere in the back of your mind that if this was happening to you, you'd probably be just as loopy.
Oh yeah, that you'd probably go just as crazy as Ash did.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I probably would have reacted the same way when everything in the cabin was laughing at me.
Yeah, I would just start laughing too. just start laughing. Like, what else can you do, right? Just everything's laughing at me. Fuck it, I'll join in.
Oh, and oh my God, I'm still thinking about how I actually got to meet Bruce Campbell 2 years ago.
Oh, you lucky bitch.
Oh my God, because this man has been my hero since I was about 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I'll just never forget that. Like, first meeting him, we went to get his photo op first.
Mm.
And I remember the closer we were getting to the booth, you know, getting closer to the curtain, and I could see him on the other side, and I'm looking at my husband, I'm like shaking, like I'm gonna lose my shit. I have a feeling I'm gonna lose my shit. And oh my God, blinds, as soon as I got in there, oh Lord, like it was like my life flashing before my eyes. Like he grabs me and he does this thing, like he grabs me as if he's going to take me with him. Yeah. And then he looks at my husband and he's like, get out of here. You know? And that's how they did the photo op, is that he grabs me and he's like, tell my husband, get the fuck out of here.
That's funny.
It's like, she's with me. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm going to die, aren't I?
Oh, that's amazing.
It was, oh my goodness. And then we went up to his autograph table to get our photo op signed, you know, and of course I was trying to think of something to say to him, because I'm like thinking, what the hell do I say? This man has been my hero forever.
Yeah.
And what the hell do I say? You know, and I said it, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go ahead. You know, I told him that he's been my hero since I was a little kid. And he said, hey, you know, as the saying goes, never meet your heroes.
That sounds like something you'd say. I don't know if you've seen any of the YouTube videos of him when Ash vs. Evil Dead was out, and they were at the like all the different horror cons and like San Diego Comic-Con and all that. And he would throw money to people for asking questions. It was he'd throw 20s and he'd be like, I'm out of 20s, here, have a 5.
Oh goodness. It's just, I mean, because this man has been, you know, I just remembered saying as like a 10, 11-year-old girl, like, I'm going to marry that man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the reason why I watched The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, thanks to my dad, because my dad's my dad was a Bruce Campbell fan too, because he's the one that got me into Evil Dead. And that was kind of our bonding time, was watching Friday nights when they would air Briscoe County Jr. on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, Briscoe County Jr. I still have to watch that. Irate's got it on Blu-ray. He wants to do like a Discord thing.
Oh man, I would love to do something like that. It's been ages since I've seen that show.
Did you ever watch the show Jack of All Trades?
I have not.
That was his it came out around the same time as like Xena and Hercules. And he was starring in that. It was like your Saturday afternoon kind of show that would be played either just after or just before Hercules and Xena.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he showed up in those episodes, I'd be watching that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, King of Thieves is coming, sweet.
You know what's funny? I have the action figure of Autolycus.
Nice.
Yeah. So I saw that it was a used bookstore that's kind of close to our house, and this was like many years ago, and they sell action figures there and stuff, and they had one of him there. I'm like, oh, I've got to buy this because I just love this man.
I've got 3 Army of Darkness figures. I have an Ash and 2 Bad Ashes. And they're hanging up above, they're hanging up on my wall upstairs. I should bring them down here, actually.
Yeah.
Hang them in my office.
Yes. Yeah, my dad has, he has like, I think like over like 12-inch, an over 12-inch figure of Ash with his chainsaw. And every time I go over to his house, I'm like, I'm going to steal that one of these days. Because it's like, I shudder to think how much it costs for that now. Yeah.
I was so sad when Ash was kicked out of the Mortal Kombat.
Oh, really? He was supposed to be in.
He was. There was an actual mistake in the game code. So for the Combat Pack, the DLC, it was supposed to be Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, Zindel, the Terminator, Spawn, and Ash Williams. But he got replaced by the Joker.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look, I like the Joker, but come on.
And the reason that's been confirmed is that there were some game systems that every time there's like a patch update or a combat pack character has been released or a trailer for a character has been released, there's a pop-up that happens in game when you load the game. And there were a bunch of systems where people would load their Mortal Kombat game and they saw on the screen and took screenshots where Ash Williams was still listed on the combat pack instead of the Joker. Mm-hmm. So that was a confirmation that he was actually supposed to be in the first combat pack trailer, there is a definite chainsaw sound at the end. And everyone was like, okay, well, Leatherface has already been in Mortal Kombat, so it would be stupid for him to come back. So it's not going to be Leatherface. So everyone was, and then Bruce Campbell put out a tweet that was like, he quote tweeted that trailer and was like, looks like an interesting game. I should check it out. Right. So it's very clear that he was supposed to be in Mortal Kombat 11, which would have been amazing.
Well, yeah, that alone would have gotten me to buy Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons why I wanted it for my birthday, was because when I bought it, he was still supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And I was so excited to eventually be able to play Ash Williams, because there's so many things that they could have done with it. Like, they could have had him use his chainsaw hand. They could have had him put on his, mechanical hand.
Yeah.
They could have, the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things. There's so many ways that he could have been a viable character for Mortal Kombat. That would have been amazing.
Well, and it's like, can you imagine all the fatality moves that they could have done with this character?
God,
it would have
yes.
been badass.
And all the little sayings that they could have had him say, like the taunts, or like, it would have been a treasure trove.
Like, imagine that if he was facing down Shiva and he's kind of like, "Yo, she-bitch, let's go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been amazing. Or, Shang Tsung with the, your soul is mine. He's something like, I've dealt with that already, asshole. Just, just blows his head off. Like, sorry, people have already been trying to get my soul.
Right?
Like.
That's exactly, that's like missed opportunity right there, because this is a guy who's dealt with, demons trying to take his soul, and
it would have been, oh my god, could you have imagined, because in this game, Shang Tsung does the soul steal in the middle of the match. If there's a move where you can have him steal and become the player that you are fighting against.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a mirror match for like a minute, and then he goes back to being Shang Tsung. So that would be so cool, like for an Ash Shang Tsung fight, for Shang Tsung to do the soul steal move, and just two Ash Williamses just fighting it out. Oh.
Or I like Mustafa's idea too, like a bunch of mini Ashes come and fuck you up.
Yes!
That would have been awesome.
Like he just punches a mirror or something and it turns into the little ashes. Or, like he's fighting Sub-Zero and, the ice ball becomes a mirror and he punches it and there's a bunch of ice ashes now coming after Sub-Zero. It was like, that would be so awesome. You hear that, NetherRealm? You fucked up.
You fucked up hard. Well, yeah, it's like, and I really didn't have, like, with all the controversy surrounding Mortal Kombat 11, I was just like kind of done.
Yeah.
But then if they would have added Ash to it, it's that you guys could have got a customer out of me, but nope, apparently you didn't want to.
Yeah, I'm still afraid to play through Jax's tower story because I really don't want to see the Wakanda thing.
God.
I really don't.
Eye roll.
I actually still haven't played story mode yet. I should do that.
But I mean, to be fair, Mortal Kombat has always been outlandish.
That's true.
So that's how I kind of see Jax's story at the end, is that, this is supposed to be kind of like a satirical, over the top kind of thing, because it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Kind of sucks though, because they either couldn't afford or couldn't get Arnold convinced to do the Terminator voice. So they hired a voice actor. Kind of sucks.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm thinking they blew their budget on Ronda Rousey.
They probably did.
Because she voices Sonya Blade in this game, and it's fucking terrible. We should have got the chick from MKX who did Sonya. Because
Mustafa says, dude, that was even worse when he sees his daughter's ending.
Oh,
I
Jackie?
think that's what he's talking about. Oh.
I haven't done Jackie's. I should do Jackie's. I haven't done her tower yet. I've been practicing with Nightwolf a lot.
I remember Nightwolf from the Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
That was a game I fondly remember playing back during the PS1 days.
The sound sounds so outlandish now. Like if you go back and listen to YouTube videos of the old Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
like especially with Johnny when he gets hit and he's like, "Oh!"
Or Scorpion, get over here.
Yeah. It was much more drawn out than it is now. Like he still says that. He still says, "Come here and get over here," but it's a lot quicker. Like it's like, "Come here," or "Get over here," like just much faster and more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have the Terminator mimic Scorpion in his fatal blow.
Oh, really?
Get over here.
Yeah, get over here. Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
They should have gotten Arnold for that. That's lame.
Yeah. It is. It would have been so cool.
Oh, and then speaking of Terminator, as I did a video talking about the new Terminator movie. I'm like, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Mustafa, yes, Raiden's yell will always be the best one.
Mm-hmm. That always messed with me, the yell. It was like, what the hell is that?
I remember as a kid when he did that, when he did like kind of his torpedo launch and he yelled, I was like, what the? I thought it was hilarious as a kid. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it's true. It makes you go, huh? RJ says, I thought Arnold was your cousin, LOL.
I don't think he is. That's, I mean, the dude's old enough to be my dad. Probably my grandpa, for all I know.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's very few fighting games that I've gotten into. Like some of the earlier Mortal Kombat stuff. I'm just not good at fighting games. Like, you for sure can kick my ass. Well, I think anybody can kick my ass.
Apparently apparently Resident Evil 6 has some very good accessibility settings.
Oh.
I may, if PlayStation Plus ever puts it on sale, or puts it as a free game, I may download it just to see. Like, because it's not the type of game that I usually play, but if it's got accessibility settings, that would be kind of cool to test out.
Yeah, Resident Evil 6 is not bad. I know there's a lot of people that didn't like the game, and I can understand because they've kind of strayed away from what Resident Evil was supposed to be. But I mean, overall, it's a fun game. They brought the zombies back.
Mm.
But now if they only did what you were talking about, like if they did that with Resident Evil 6 or Resident Evil 7, oh God, I can't imagine that. Because the thing is, you know, I can imagine with being blind, you have your imagination to and the mind does crazy shit to you. So I was just thinking, imagine playing Resident Evil 7, because Resident Evil 7 is pretty messed up. I'm sure Mustafa would probably agree with me on that.
Mm.
And the Resident Evil remake too, or RE2 remake, was pretty scary.
Mustafa says, I used to be kind of okay at Guilty Gear, but those skills are long gone.
What's Guilty Gear?
I think it's another fighting game. Oh, you didn't like the trailer for the Joker film, RJ? I actually think it looks pretty good.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot of really good things about the Joker movie. Like, there's several channels that I follow that have said, go see this movie.
Pincalo says, I think I'm going to download The Last of Us and try and get Blind Press to play it.
Oh,
what do you guys think?
Yes. Oh, Last of Us.
It's free right now, so
it is really good. The story is fantastic, and these characters are just, yeah. I highly recommend The Last of Us. like the first 15 minutes of the game, and I was bawling like a baby.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like it gets very, there's some feels inducing moments in this game.
That sounds like, yeah, that would be fun to try and play The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I still have yet to beat the first game. The second game's supposed to be coming out in a few more months.
That sounds like, so I didn't know that there was another game coming out for that.
Yep. I'm like, oh yeah, I might want to, because that seems to be a habit of mine when I'm playing a game, is that if I get stuck somewhere, I get frustrated and I stop playing. And that's what happened with me with The Last of Us. I got stuck somewhere and I just like, oh, fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
Mustafa, fuck Mr. X forever. Yeah. Imagine that fucker chasing you throughout the entire game. It just gets, it's very hair-raising.
Oh man. See, I'm so happy the game developers are making accessibility settings.
That's good, yeah.
Like I just found out that I think the tutorials for Mortal Kombat just got given accessibility settings, which is good because I couldn't do any of them. Which you get a few trophies for doing all the tutorials, and there's some things that I could learn by doing the tutorials that I don't know how to do, right? So it would be, awesome if I could do them. So I'm gonna see what accessibility settings they've added, because if they've made it so that the tutorials talk now, that would be great. Because before it was just read the screen and then do what they were do what you were reading. So if they've added some accessibility features to that, then that would be awesome. Because right now, when I go online for Mortal Kombat, or go load Mortal Kombat, the main menus talk. They say, cool. Conquer, fight, customize, learn. And then when you go into those menus, they'll still talk. Like it'll say, if you hit X on Conquer, it'll tell you, stories, Towers of Time, Classic Tower. Cool. So you know where you're going. And the characters always talk. Like when you selected the characters, that always talked. But the maps are announced now. So when you pick a map to fight on, or a stage to fight on, it'll announce what you've picked now as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they definitely should do that, is make games more accessible, especially some horror titles would be great to have accessibility to. Yeah.
It would be fun to play something like Left 4 Dead or something like that. I've often thought about seeing what it would be like to jump on the one player mode or offline mode on Call of Duty, just to see how I am at a shooting game.
Oh my god, that would get really frustrating though, because having all these enemies pop up and
that would be frustrating.
I get frustrated with first-person shooters.
That's what Pincalo's really good at playing. He's really good at playing, especially on PC. He's really good at playing the first-person shooters.
Yeah. The only first-person shooter games that I play are the ones that have that RPG element to them, like the Fallout games. And I've also gotten really into Dying Light, and mainly because you're doing more than just using guns and stuff. But while guns are heavily discouraged in playing this, you actually have to use your the various melee weapons that you get, and then there's certain situations where you encounter a horde, and it's either okay, do I fight them, or do I use stealth to try to get around this?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like I've always been more of the survival horror or RPG, specifically JRPGs, have always been kind of my thing since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember when you guys did a Blind in the Special like many months ago, and I brought up Phantasy Star, and Pincalo was like mentioned. I'm like, oh my god, I thought it was the only one that you
No, Pincalo, he's definitely your vintage gaming type of guy. He definitely prefers the older consoles and stuff like that to the new stuff.
That's how I am too. I've always been more of the retro gamer. I don't know, it's just new games, just there's more involved, and I'm kind of ADD with my brain. So if there's like too much, it's like it just gets really frustrating for me. That's why, with the old games from back in the day with like the NES or Genesis, I think or Mega Drive, as certain other countries call them, it's just more simplified, and it's just so much easier. Granted, it does get very challenging, but the controls are very simplistic.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like fighting games, because they're easy for me to that's why people always say, oh, you should play with different characters. And it's like, well, if I play with different characters, I will only be okay with a few.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather memorize and learn and get really good at one or two and enjoy, the full experience,
mm-hmm.
than flounder about with every character and only get a few moves off every so often. So that's why I'm one of those people that picks a character, or as they say in the fighting game community, picks a main and sticks with it.
Oh no, I totally get it, because there's certain characters that have a specific a combo set to some of their special moves that you just get so used to using.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pincalo says if you like games like how you were describing, you should play Don't Even Think. Yeah, if you've got a PlayStation, look up Don't Even Think.
Okay.
It's a survivalist type / strategy type of game. You can either play as a human or a werewolf. And it's basically, if you're human, you're like a prisoner, and you get dropped on this island, and you have to survive the night. And you can team up with I think it's 3 humans to a team, or you can do it by yourself. Or you can be a werewolf and try and kill the humans and eat them and all that. So it's a fun, Pincalo's had a lot of fun with it. And I think he downloaded it for free.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, because I do have a PS4. So okay, I'm gonna Google that. Don't Even Think. So that way I will remember to look that up.
Yeah, he has a lot of fun with it.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll have to look that up when I open up my PS4.
Yeah, it's an interesting game to listen to and play, because and if I'm listening to him play on Twitch with headphones on, he's been like, where is this person? And I've been like, over there. We can because it's very good. Like the audio is pretty good. You can hear the step, like the people walking around you, and like it's very, very cool. It's and when you're being a human, if you're hiding and you're waiting so that you're not going to get killed by a werewolf, it can get pretty, like it's very suspenseful, because you're sitting there and you're listening and you're quiet so that the werewolves don't hear you. And then all of a sudden there's a werewolf right behind you and it howls and you're like, oh shit. Fuck, shoot it before it kills me.
Sounds kind of similar to Friday the 13th, or the new Friday the 13th, where you're having to run from Jason.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it is. Well, we've got 10 minutes left, so if chat has any comments or questions for either Lindsay or I, now is your time.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Oh, I'm so happy. I finally got my new Bluetooth headset yesterday. My phone, my freaking phone got replaced.
Now, did you get the iPhone? Did you get the iPhone 11?
I did. Because I was able to get it for $0 on an upgraded plan. So I was like, I get to have a phone that I don't have to pay $1,000 outright for. Okay.
Yeah, I had to upgrade because stupid me dropped my phone a few months back and I ended up with a black screen. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, no.
And the way my plan is that I have to pay full price for the phone.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, oh, shit. So, and I'm not going to pay $1,000 for a phone.
Oh, hell no.
So, because I have a 5C.
Okay.
And luckily, even though it was still a lot of money, I managed to get an iPhone 7 for $500.
That's not bad. It sucks, but it's not bad.
Yeah. You know, hey, the phone runs. It's all that matters to me. But
yeah.
It kind of, I was thinking back to like when the iPhone 11 was first announced, they put a freaking content warning because apparently how they have the new camera system with the 2 cameras or 3 cameras, it like triggers like some sort of phobia.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get the iPhone Pro 11 Pro because I just got the 11. So if you see here, it's got the 2 lenses, like one here and one here. But and it's a big phone. Like, look, it's a mini tablet.
Yeah.
Freaking huge. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be. The size is not as big a deal as I thought, and neither is having no home button. Like, I got used to that within a few hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what amazed me about the iPhone 7 is that it's a much bigger screen than my 5C. I was like, oh, I've got my own little mini tablet here.
Yeah. What's our favorite season? Says Check Your Logic. Summer for me.
What show or
no season, like
or
weather wise, like what's your favorite season?
Fall,
yeah,
because I love the cooler weather, because after summer here in Phoenix, I embrace the cooler weather. Plus I love all the different fall flavors that they have. You know, I hate Starbucks, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a pumpkin spice latte fanatic, so
I hate winter. And I really dislike fall because that means winter is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather deal with the heat and humidity than trying to deal with the snow. I
understand. Yeah, because the cold is brutal where you're at.
It's the cold, and it's a logistical thing for me as well, because trying to like being sighted and traveling in winter weather in Canada sucks. But when you can't see and you're trying to wrestle your cane out from a pile of snow, and then you're like, oh shit, I can't feel where the sidewalk is because it's buried under snow. Am I on the road?
Oh no.
That's happened to me before. I've been like, am I on the road or the sidewalk? I can't fucking tell. And then that gets scary. Because then you're like, am I going to get hit by a car? Where the fuck am I right now?
Diesel Dave says, well, to be fair, winter in Phoenix is summer in the Midwest. Yeah. Well, we don't get humid. We don't get humidity, but it's gorgeous here in the winter. But I'm not going to lie, in 60-degree weather, sometimes I'm dressed like I'm going to go out in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Because I'm so thin-blooded that I have no doubt that if I went east or where you're at, I'd probably turn into an icicle.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I'd much rather deal with being too hot than too cold.
Yeah. See, with me,
I can't deal with it.
Well, it's like with me, it depends, because if I get cold, or at least the cold here in Phoenix, it's just, you just put a few blankets on, you're fine.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, in the summer, having air conditioning is an absolute necessity.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. It probably gets over 100 almost every day, right?
Oh,
in the summer?
Yeah, we're talking like an average of 115. Not sure
Jesus.
what that translates to in Celsius, but yeah,
that's probably going to be up in the 40s.
Yeah. It's extremely brutal. But if you can handle the extreme heat for 3-4 months, the rest of the year is fine. We got nice winters here, and if you really want to go see snow, you can just drive up to Flagstaff or to Payson, which is like 2 hours from Phoenix. Oh, RJ, I can imagine that Virginia weather is a little brutal. I went to Pittsburgh about 25 years ago, and we went during the summer, and it was 80 degrees outside, but the humidity was like close to 100. And
oof.
I'm like, oh no, yeah, I'll take the dry heat here in Phoenix.
Pincalo says, I miss Southern California winters. Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, miss the weather. Don't miss the freaking expensive. Everything's just expensive.
Yeah. Well, imagine, because he was born and raised in Canada, and then he goes to California as a teenager. So, everyone's in the winter in California, everyone's like wearing their jackets and stuff, and he's in his shorts and whatever. Everyone's like, you're crazy. And he's like, it's beautiful. What are you talking about?
Yeah, San Diego was a big family vacation spot.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and the weather is gorgeous. San Diego is a very pretty, it's a very pretty city, but yeah, it's just way too expensive. And now California is just going to shit, which is just really sad. But
yeah,
you got homelessness that's on the rise, and there's talks that the bubonic plague might come back because of the rat problem that they have there.
That's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want a little plague?
Nothing like the Black Plague to get everybody so invigorated.
Hey, it could be a new weight loss method. R.I.P. LA falls to the Black Death.
Well, it's like I've heard Black Death. I've heard that leprosy might make a comeback. And I said that, oh, great. I had shingles last year. I ended up getting athlete's foot this year. I'm like, yeah, next up it'll be leprosy.
No kidding. They'll send you to California. To the leper colony.
Leper colony.
That is California.
That, and then you got all the poop in the streets.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Gotta love the 16th century London atmosphere that is California now.
It's like, hey, if you really want to experience what it's like to live in the Renaissance era, just go to California. Just go to San Francisco.
Yep.
And start building castles and shit.
Oh my goodness, we have whiled away a whole 90 minutes, people. And I hope that everybody enjoyed themselves. And I want to thank Lindsay for coming and hanging out with me. I had a blast.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
No worries. I hope someday again when you have a day off, you can come and hang out again, because that was lots of fun.
I'd be more than honored. Well, I do have the day after Thanksgiving off from work.
Oh, cool.
So, Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, so that would be Friday.
Yeah. No, we could set something up for that.
Oh, absolutely.
That sounds like fun. If everybody is awake tonight at midnight, it is the 100th cream stream on Irate Prostate's channel. So go check that out. Tomorrow for Skeptalk's birthday, we will be doing his picks for TNG at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time back here on the Blind Press channel. And there will, of course, be the blind and the special on Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I want to thank, again, everybody for coming and chatting, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Have a great Friday and a good weekend, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.